Communications, Fremantle Media.
I'm Gretchen McCord. I'm the Executive Vice President of Programming for ArcLight Cinemas.
Amy Reinhardt, President of Worldwide Licensing and Distribution for Paramount.
Okay, great. So I'm going to let Allison Dollar, CEO of Interactive Television Alliance, take over, get us started, and then we'll do a quick little brand session and a panel with the judges, then bring the winners back. So I'm going to turn this over to Allison right now to get us going.
So this is a format that I instituted, I hate to say how long ago, but I will tell you, 1996, with ETV World Conference, that we actually used to hold at the Lowe's in Santa Monica. And so we've all come along a strange and crazy road here, so it's really great to do this with MEAs and with all of our fellow pioneers in this space. George, et cetera. We've all been around quite a while proselytizing about this. And what's wonderful to see is that places where there used to be divisions, for instance, even if you think of terrestrial broadcast, it wasn't really ever only over the air, right? There always had to be cooperation with satellite. And satellite, in turn, had to cooperate with the cable companies and vice versa, and all the way down the line until here we have mobile that disrupted the way it has, as well as, of course, the social platforms. And so when you see the kinds of companies that are pitching over the years, it's very interesting to see. Originally, they were so granular, little apps that just did one small thing, and now they have to be integrated into workflow and enterprise and take advantage of the fact that metadata needs to be repackaged and all the other things. So I think you're going to see that today in who we have. So the way it worked is we first have 1 minute round, and they judge on your forms, either pass them forward or not. So if they get a no, you don't do anything else. If you think, yeah, I'd like to hear, then you give them a point from 1 to 3. So that way it's like, yeah, maybe, oh yeah, definitely. So definitely is a 3, is a 1, and 2 is, yeah, okay. And then we will tally them, and Sarah will run the event in between, and then they'll come back, and the top 3 will come through and do a longer version with, we're hoping, the AV, and then we'll tally that and pick a winner, okay? So that's how it works. So out of the little baggie here, and I'm sorry it wasn't anything more fun in there other than numbers at the end of the day, but number 1, whoever had number 1, please come forward. Okay, so 1 minute, it's gonna be timed.
How was everyone? Good.
Excellent.
Good. Thanks for being here. My name is Tyler Deskins. What's that? Oh. Just trying to get a quick start. Ready when you are. Tyler Deskins, Megaphone TV. We're a participation media studio based in New York. I run Los Angeles. We do interactive, real-time graphics on screen. We're Emmy-winning with Bravo. Been nominated with AMC on The Walking Dead talk show, The Talking Dead, also with Bravo's Watch What Happens Live, and working with many other live sports teams in their arena, among other things like that. What we can do is we're able to take the graphics, put a question on air, the people at home, the viewers, log on a URL, hit the question, see the answer, it shows in live time right there. That way the producers and everyone can then direct the live show any way that they see it. Everything there happens in real time, live, and you're able to move from there. Would love to show you the real-time demo on here if you can. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Number 2, head on up.
Ready? Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Stu Levy. So I'm going to say 3 phrases that I'm sure you've heard before. SoundCloud, Instagram, YouTube. What do these 3 phrases all have in common? They're all platforms built on the strength of community-created content. That's the platform that we're building for comic books, pop comics. Thank you.
So Pop Comics was the name of that company. And Megaphone TV was the first one. So you guys make sure the very first thing you do is say the name of your company so they can track it on their sheet. Also, you can or cannot, depending on your preference, give conciseness extra quality points, because that was really good, Stu. Okay.
Ready? Hi, I'm Michael Rubinelli, and my company is called Game Dango. So, we believe to gain acceptance by the masses and adoption by a hardware manufacturing platform company, we needed to solve a really, really hard problem. We need to do that with a technology that is allowed to. Can I start over? This is the worst pitch in the entire history of pitching. I've done this 1,000 times. I apologize. I'm much better. I'm truly much better at this than I've started.
Do over it, sure.
Molly.
Fine.
Oh my God, Molly. Thank you.
Come on.
Okay. I am Michael Rubinelli with Game Dango. We believe in order to gain acceptance from the masses and adoption from hardware and manufacturing companies like Apple and Google and Samsung, we needed to create a disruptive technology that solved a hard problem, a problem that affected everybody every single day. The problem that we've decided to solve is content discovery, specifically in the mobile gaming arena. Now, we know that Apple has publicly and privately stated that this is one of the largest problems that they face, and they're actively seeking for fresh solutions to that problem. Our solution, Game Dango, is an application that has the purpose of Fandango, with the recommendation engine not too dissimilar from Pandora or Spotify, and the ease of interface of a Tinder. Now, full disclosure, I've never used Tinder, but all my single friends and my married friends that are maybe a little loose with their morals say it's incredibly intuitive, and I don't really know what that means, but that's our direction. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dirk Brown from Pandoodle. Most of us consume media content online, but we don't like to pay for that content, and we don't like ads, which we're becoming increasingly better at ignoring or blocking. Pandoodle enables online advertising and brand marketing in a way that doesn't turn off consumers. And we do this using proprietary computer vision and machine learning technologies to analyze the images and videos and text on a site that a consumer is looking at and serve up relevant and engaging content. So for example, I'm looking here at a picture of Taylor Swift. I can tap on that picture. Pandoodle's technology allows me to bring up Taylor Swift's Twitter feed, an article about Taylor Swift, and an ad for that Gibson guitar that she's playing, which is a great experience for me. We can also dynamically customize the images and videos themselves, so we can hyper-target the brand placement in the videos and images to individual consumers. So it's truly scalable, truly native advertising. We're live on several sites. Consumers seem to love it, and we're looking forward to showing you some demos.
Hello, I'm David Larkin with GoWatchIt.com. At GoWatchIt, consumers can look up movies and TV shows and see all the ways to watch them. They can also set alerts and get notifications of titles of interest. We're growing really quickly as a B2B company, and customers like Amazon Studios, Warner Brothers, Sony, and Paramount integrate our software in their digital marketing campaigns. We also work with media companies like the New York Times, BuzzFeed, industry associations like the MPA and Sundance, and we help them connect consumers and content. We help our customers capture consumer data for retargeting purposes, and we also are building a proprietary database of consumer interests and behaviors we collect across our network. GoWatchIt is helping entertainment marketers create a tighter and more profitable relationship with their most avid fans, but along the way we're building a proprietary network and a database of consumer interests that can be monetized in a variety of ways.
Hi, I'm Chip Venters. I'm CEO of BrowsePlay. We are a Silicon Valley company that makes a brand new video format that, among other things, is totally interactive. You hear the word a lot these days, interactive, but this truly is a format that runs in existing environments where every single object in the video can be touched and will go to either more information, a opportunity to buy, or another type of media. It runs in all environments, doesn't require a special player. So with either legacy content or new content, brand new business model for content creators, brand new business model for e-commerce people. Thank you.
I think, were you 6?
Yes.
Okay, so we need 8 to come because nobody picked 7.
I just got to enable the first couple of slides. It's kind of hard to compete with booze, I got to tell you. It's really. You can't use slides? Oh, okay. Well, sounds good. Okay, no worries, no worries. I get a mulligan then. Hi, my name's Dean Choi. This is Tamara. We're co-founders of iBlossom. We developed a social media system for large media companies so they can monetize against native advertising, which is over a $30 billion advertising market right now. We put an end-to-end solution together, and we give you all the tools to tell your social media story across all distribution platforms. You probably experienced one of our apps with the Take One. We're the social media sponsor here, and we're profitable, and we're 3 years old, and I hope you get to learn more.
Hi, I'm Bruce Louisi, President and CEO of ATLX.
I'm Scott Holmes, Chief Digital Officer of ATLX.
ATLX, it's athletics with an X.
So who here considers themselves athletic? How about fit? Right? However you would answer that question, I speculate that you care about what you put in your body and you want to keep and sustain a healthy lifestyle. So ATLX is a personal athletic lifestyle network. So we actually couple the content, entertainment content, fitness, nutrition with health tracking. We actually can integrate into your Fitbit or your iPhone. And so imagine here for a moment that you are aspiring to be a race car driver. Well, what if you could actually tap into a professional IndyCar racer statistics, vital statistics, actually understand their food regimen and their fitness regimen, and even at one point when they're racing, you can actually track their heartbeat as they're going around the track at 200 miles an hour.
And ATLX is perfect for brands that are trying to associate themselves with an active lifestyle base.
And we are ATLX.
Thanks.
I think so. Is that Athletics TV?
Number 9. Number 9.
Yes, Athletics TV.
Yes.
ATLX. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm from Athens. Number 1, we are a Belgian startup company, and I'm ready for my minute. Oh, it started. Okay, so what we do is we enrich video content with metadata. That means you make every item within it shoppable. So imagine I would be your favorite actor or actress in a character in your TV show, movie, and you really would like to know what I'm wearing right now. You would open up our app, which is a second screen solution, and through audio recognition and face recognition, we will tell you exactly what item this person is wearing and what she's sitting. You would actually see all those dots that appear everywhere on the screen, and from now on, you will actually be able to buy everything that this person is wearing, or is eating, or where the location is being shot. Because the cool thing is we can add items in there also that are being not displayed. So it really is enriching the whole experience of how I can see my content, of how I can experience my content, if I get a more relationship with my actors and actresses. And this is how we're really going to disturb and disrupt the whole area of watching content at home, on the go, digital, or on TV.
Number 10, 11, and 12, I believe, is the same person. Yes.
Lot of ideas.
Hi, how are you? Hi, my name is Jason Sullivan. I run a brand new tech startup company called Viral On Demand in Silicon Beach. And I'll make a statement, and hopefully you won't be offended. But the statement is, you are either in or you're out. Right now. That's the reality of it. All right? I'll make one more statement before you kick me out. And then you can decide whether or not you want to bring me back up for 3 minutes. But the bottom line is, at any given moment, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of live conversations that are taking place that are influencing your world at any given moment. So I'll repeat that. At any given moment, there are millions of conversations that are taking place that are influencing the world of the entertainment industry. Fair enough? Okay. That being said, we get about the business of making sure that you're actually engaged in those live conversations to make sure that we can influence those conversations. Because if we're not in those conversations, actively engaged, we stand about a 0% chance of influencing those live conversations. So we do that on scale, and we do it systematically with proprietary technology that we've developed from scratch. And our first couple of use cases have been with the American Marketing Association, where we increased their buzz and engagement 3,386% in about a week. And the other is with a small company called Guthrie Renker with a product called Proactive. Thank you.
So I think that's it, right? No other stragglers? Okay. All right, so now what we do is we collect for this round and see who are the top 3 that continue on to a pitch for 3 minutes with their deck, with 3 minutes afterward each of questions. And in between, Sarah's going to have a little chat with our judges. Well, let me collect the thing.
No, not everyone pitched. And
So 10 and 4.
not everyone pitched. Yeah.
Just people touching it by accident.
Okay.
I need everybody to smile and wave. Oh, perfect. That'll be posted.
Oh, wait, sorry. Is it this one?
I think some of them just missed it and others added on. So I don't think that she was covered.
And you'll follow, yeah. Okay, Allison has all this stuff. Okay, so guys, you guys all did an amazing job. I want to give everybody a big hand for their pitches. Great job for only 1 minute with no resources, which is all everybody's used to. So while they're judging, I'm going to spend a few minutes talking to our judges right here, kind of get their feedback of what they're seeing, what's innovative to them, and what's going on with their respective companies. So, Jonathan, you've been around for like years with the MEAs and our pitch sessions. A lot of innovative companies you've seen over the years. What do you think, what's going on with some of these guys? What's innovative? What are you guys looking for in the tech space moving forward and the year ahead for the Kings?
Yeah, so a lot of what we've been doing on the marketing side is evolving, from sort of very tactical campaigns, whether it's clicks or downloading an app, to storytelling through content. We're investing a lot of time in producing content that's got very little to do with actually what's happening on the ice, but the storylines around the team that fans really want to engage with. So we've invested in producing content, some pretty compelling content, I hope. And now what we're trying to do in the marketing side is figure out how do we spend our dollars in advertising and promoting that content, beyond our walls. So, we'd love to get this expert group's ideas and thoughts on how you market and optimize your content.
And we're going to have a better year next year for the Kings, right?
Yes, we will.
Good to know. Okay, George, what's going on in your world?
A lot of what my company does is to work with a lot of online influencers. First of all, we represent a number of them, some folks in television, some folks who are creating content for primarily online platforms like YouTube. And one recent example was that we worked with Sphero, the company that produced the very cute BB-8, the little robot you couldn't find at first. our company put together a social media campaign that took a lot of well-known influencers in the world of tech and nerds and gave them some BB-8s in advance. So when the product was released, they started tweeting out pictures and videos and links, and the product sold out on Amazon within 4 hours of its launch. It was cleared from store shelves that same day, and then it became sort of the hard-to-get, must-have toy for Christmas. We also produce videos. We recently, just over the weekend, produced a video for a startup company called Loot Crate that sends geek items to your home for a subscription, like a subscription model. So we produce original content as well as work with a lot of online influencers.
Great. Angeli, what's going on the product side with Intel? You guys have come up with some great products for the MEAs you guys have won the past 2 years. So what's new that you could talk about on the product side to look forward to?
Well, Intel is all about technology and pushing the performance and the power envelopes and everything for decades. Now it's about how do you realize those technologies. So all these groups, the startups, this is phenomenal because each one of them can potentially have an impact on how do you drive the technology up and actually push it out to the consumer. Our goal, of course, on the product side is to build products right from desktops to mobile products, and as well as, of course, we're on the server side too, but more importantly on the new devices and the wearable side, which is a new concept for Intel. But in all of them, the form factors are almost the new devices meaning wearables. I mean, traditional form factors are these mobile products and phones and tablets. But at this point in time, what form the technology takes is almost irrelevant. It's how that technology is going to be realized and used in the consumer's life. It could be something you wear, it could be something you're putting in your hand or your dress or however what it is. Where the startups can help is each one of these technologies give a home to it, wherein you spread it out and scale it to the end consumer. On the product side, we give it a form, but we want the world to scale it, as we did in the PC space, where the next gen PCs would come out, and then it's spread out across the world. Now with the new form factors and the new apps and features. And how we consume the data sets, it's going to be all about how you spread it across the form factors.
Perfect. Christina?
Well, I mean, for us, we're at our core a television production company, and when it comes to how we're looking at digital and social, first and foremost, we're trying to find ways to engage with our audience to not take them necessarily away from the program, but keep them active with our program, dive deeper into the world, and to keep them engaged between seasons, which is increasingly more important. So, I mean, every new social platform is of interest to us. They're not always the right fit for each show. So really what we do for everything is extremely customizable based on the demographic, what we're looking at from usage, from engagement, and how we can better serve our audiences.
Well, we have a little bit of a different situation as we're selling an experience at ArcLight, and we don't own our content, we don't create our content. It's coming from right now a lot of different areas. It used to be the traditional, big studios, but what we're really open to is getting content now. As the creative community has so many more options, we need to have those options too. So we're playing a lot more content that's coming directly from filmmakers that aren't going a studio route, aren't going a normal distribution route. We're looking at content that may be playing on subscription platforms or cable or traditional television or network platforms, and really finding that people, it may be one show, it may be a week before it launches, but there's still a want to see great content in a theatrical, communal experience. And just finding new ways to do that, and new partners. We've reached out to partners like Steppenwolf and Second City and Pantages, and even the filmmakers directly to find interesting, deeper looks into the product that our guests and our members really find unique, and they find it interesting, and it gives them a look that they're not going to get on Entertainment Tonight or on, just when they're really just looking at the celebrities or the stars, but how do they get that deeper look into the project that they find really interesting. So it's a little bit different challenge on content.
So being in the studio world, our sales job is obviously trying to maximize the economics of how we're slicing and dicing rights around the world. And so for us, the challenge is really keeping up with all these growing platforms and making sure that we are locking in when we've got great deals. We're able to ride the upside of the economics on really good deals, but also staying nimble enough in a lot of these territories where they're leapfrogging technology. So having a good time, seeing what's going on with China and how mobile the society is coming. But it's really just about having your hand in all sorts of different platforms and learning as you go along, so you're able to maximize sales from our content.
Thank you. So, our panel earlier with Gretchen was a lot on content and distribution models. J-Lo, what's going on? Fans of the Kings are rabid fans. They're very social media savvy, very mobile savvy. You guys have been a big advocate on the sports side for pushing out the social media and keeping that fan base engagement. What are you seeing and what's working for you guys this year that these guys may want to know about or that you haven't done before until now?
I think like most big brands, we want to be able to engage with our consumers across multiple platforms, but then tailor the content and experience to the different platforms. So, like Sarah said, Kings fans are highly engaged, like hockey fans are in general. The one thing that we've done that I think sets us apart or has set us apart with our social is that most people follow individuals, celebrities, athletes, on social because there's personality behind it. There's compelling content coming from that individual. Most organizations traditionally can be very boring to follow in sports because they're giving you the scores and the stats, and that's the stuff you can get anywhere. So one of the things that we've done, and we've taken a lot of risk, but had a lot of benefit and engagement, is creating that voice and being able to make fun of ourselves and other teams in ways that a lot of other sports teams won't. I mean, we got knocked out of the playoffs, and our Twitter handle flipped to our star player playing golf. I mean, most sports teams don't make fun of themselves when they're knocked out of the playoffs. So, again, the thing that we've just been continuing to do is try to find that voice and give people a reason to follow us beyond just the stats and the scores that you can get anywhere else.
Great. And then Gretchen, you had a good comment earlier because you're a theater, so it's a little bit different on that fan-based engagement because you want them to come to the theaters and stay engaged in the movies. What are you guys working on that's going to keep the fans coming back into the theaters?
We're just trying to to really make them understand the ArcLight brand and the pieces that make us different when they're choosing an out-of-home experience. So we found that the number one thing we hear from our guests is no advertising, and we're an advertising-free venue, and I think church and ArcLight are about the only places you can go that you're not getting that distraction-free environment, whether it be lines, whether it be waiting, trying to get your seat, whether it be advertising, is a space that we're really owning right now, and and it's a big economic risk to be in that space. But as all of this content we're talking about is available on so many different platforms at everyone's time, whenever they want to watch it, that's a restriction that movie theaters still have, is you have to come to the movie theater when it's showing. So we're really looking for that one thing that customers and guests can't get anywhere else, and that distraction-free environment is something that we're finding is that people like a lot. And then the second thing is going a little deeper to what I said before, is how do we give a deeper look into the film and more than just the celebrity or the star of the film, but a Q&A with the director, a Q&A with the makeup artist or a costumer. If it's something very specific, we're creating our own content with ArcLight stories that are playing digitally on our YouTube channel, and then after the film, so you can stay and see an interview. That really is unique. And what's interesting is the studios are loving it, and they're using that content for their home video, because it is just a different look into the film. So all of those unique views and those unique partnerships are what we're finding is getting people to want that out-of-home experience and still see content in movie theaters.
Okay, so guys, I got one quick question before we move on to the next phase. I'm going to start at the end with you, Jonathan. Top 2 technologies, just top 2 that you guys are looking into that's exciting and innovative that you're looking to see more of in this next year.
The stuff we're looking at, again, without giving specifics into the companies, but the type of stuff that we're continuing to look at is how do we continue to engage, with mobile and social in meaningful ways with our fans in the arena. All the crazy things you can do, and when you go to a sport event, I don't know if you guys go to games, but the one thing the fans love more than anything is when you show them up on the screen, because you're engaging the fans in the game. So, with arenas being Wi-Fi enabled now and all the cool apps and technologies, the stuff that's, at least from that perspective, exciting for us is how can we, through social, engage the fans and the dialogue they're having to the team and with each other in the game to create that full kind of 360 experience. So that's some of the kinds of technologies we're looking at now.
George, 1 or 2 things that you guys are looking at?
VR storytelling. Obviously, that's coming, and the products that are just now being made available are big and expensive, but they will get smaller and faster and integrate more with your mobile devices as well as your home entertainment devices. The new forms of narrative and the new forms of storytelling using equipment, cameras, and more importantly, imagination of talent who can utilize these new platforms to tell stories that are compelling, immersive, I think are going to be the new big thing. In the next few years, we'll be seeing advertising in the VR world, because how do we monetize that? But right now, it's what kind of stories are we going to tell first?
Okay, Angeli?
First and foremost, distributed compute. It's becoming a big thing right now, simply because the more and more performance you go into one device, and the devices are taking different forms. You have multitudes of devices. So how are you going to, with the multitudes of devices that are you have laying around, how are they going to be connected and talking to each other and giving you more of the performance and the power that you need? So that's number one. VR, AR, of course, is very, very critical from our end too. The last thing, though, also because we own the server side of the business too, the connection between the data center as well as any of your client spaces, so be it the IoT world, the new devices world again, or the client compute world, the connections between the two are immensely important. So those are the arenas.
For us, I would say VR as well, 360 video. As I said, we're looking for ways where we can immerse our audience. Great storytelling is extremely important. An experience that feels authentic and gives our viewers a sense of ownership and being part of the program. So those are big focuses for us.
We're also focusing on VR more from an experience side of things, and then the other piece is laser presentation and huge sound, Dolby Atmos, just things that really make it different than watching it on your phone.
I would say better advertising ratings, metrics, platforms. That's a big one. And then, I think VR absolutely for what's next for storytelling within movie making.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to turn this back to Allison to move on to the next part of our program.
Okay, so coming back up to do the longer pitches with your AV will be, this is alphabetical order, Happiness, Athletics, Browse Play, and Megaphone TV.
Everyone wants to know what those shoes are. I know. I'm glad I'm able to show you now. It's still working. Hope it's not karma.
Okay. He's gonna get another projector. Yeah. So.
I can dance, but I'm really bad at it. I would not suggest doing that. Maybe someone else would like to come up.
He's going to get another projector because it's a projector.
Okay, you guys, I am so sorry about this. It's a conference, a skirball. Can any of the guys who, the finalists, any of you guys pitch without presentations? How confident are you three to pitch, sing and dance, and be charming without any deck?
Chip says he'll go. Go, Chip.
Chip, do you want to come up and go?
Yeah.
I used to be in the AV business way back when, so this is like common stuff. I get to do without slides, which is kind of fun.
Say the name of your company, sorry, one more
Yes,
time.
I'm sorry. I'm Chip Venters, Browse Play Inc. out of Silicon Valley. As I was telling you before, we have developed a brand new video format that is, among other things, interactive, but it also does some interesting things for the geeks in the crowd. It runs inline, which means that you can put it inside of websites, both mobile and otherwise, and it doesn't trip ad filters. It allows you to actually track data a little better than most video formats. But the biggest thing it does is it creates some really interesting immersive situations for users that doesn't require all this fancy new VR gear and all the 360 cameras. The format does work in those environments, but we believe that the screens that are out there right now, especially these mobile screens, are really where you want to create an immersive experience. I don't know if you can see this right now or not, but this is just a girl in some yoga pants. This is actually not in an app. This is our video format running in the browser on the phone. So no special plugins, no apps. I like what she's got on. I touch her shirt, and sure enough, it goes to a pair of her yoga pants. She can buy the yoga pants, and this can be sent by SMS. It can be sent by email. And again, no pre-installed software involved. It also does some really good things in an e-commerce environment. This is the inline thing. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Again, not in an app. This is actually an e-commerce site that sells yoga pants. And as you can see, the models are moving throughout the whole thing. So video that moves, that allows you to see product shots, if I had the slides, you would see some research on it. The conversion rates are incredibly increased. In e-commerce, 35% in some cases, because people are moved by seeing moving video. Behind all this is, again, this ability to capture on a very granular level, even if it's moving, an object in a video and link it anywhere. It can be linked to, like you saw here, products. It can be linked to other information. You can create really great stories. You know, stories are linear right now. I hear you guys talking about, with this you can branch, you can stop. I mean, you can have different endings. These are kind of the stereotypical things people always thought about interactive video. Now it's here. It works. I've had a couple of people say this is kind of a little holy grail type thing. The neat thing about it is no special equipment, no special editing. Existing content goes right in. You start marketing, and we do have also image recognition that will mass mark up stuff and give you the opportunities. So thank you very much.
I've got two questions. Who has a question for judges?
So, are there any compatibility issues? I mean, video formats have their standards, and that gets set over generations, and then there's evolution of these. First and foremost, are there any compatibility issues? And
No,
then
we
also,
just ingest whatever legacy video there is, we convert it to our format, and then it outputs it into an iframe, and you can put it anywhere. And so, and we also have this unique way of sending our player. The player is actually in the content itself. So as long as the browser environment is HTML5, then it works fine. And it's not really HTML5 video either, because that's really hard to do this with.
So backward compatibility, yes. What about forward compatibility? I mean, video formats, how are you going to keep up with the
as long as the
extended
browser
video?
continues to provide resources like it does now, and as long as it supports JavaScript over time, we think we're in really good shape over time.
And this question, I want to give Chip an extra minute because he had no AV. So, and I know you were showing the phone out to them. So, do you guys have any other questions for him?
I might add one thing. We come from the IP world. We have a whole bunch of digital rights management IP that, in fact, Apple, Microsoft, and others are licensees of our digital rights management IP. That is inside of here, too. So we've got sort of proprietary DRM in it, and then we have filed a whole bunch of new patents on the actual interactive piece and the way we do this. So again, that's another usual question with a video format. How are you going to protect your IP? What are the royalties that are going to be involved and that sort of thing? We're not saying that it won't be to other companies, but we have so much packed into this. We think it's a really great place to negotiate from, and when it comes to that. Anyone?
Any other questions?
Thank you.
What's the story?
So we'll just wait a minute and see if this actually works, and otherwise, you guys are going to be free balling it.
It's the test time.
We're having a good time. We should.
All right. Unfortunately, the forces are not with us today in every respect. Who was after? Well, actually, happiness, you don't want to. Okay, since you were first, all right, why don't you come and try? And judges, if you will, when you ask questions, make sure you're talking into the mic because folks are not being able to hear all of you very well. Okay, thanks.
Okay, well, again, this is Stephanie. I don't have a pretty cool video to show you, but I'm pretty sure I can explain that to you as well. So basically what we do is we take the content, extract into keyframes first, and then implement in our technology. That works how? Like Shazam, we work with audio recognition. That means you're watching your favorite TV show on the TV, on Netflix, on YouTube, it doesn't matter. As long as it's making sound, we will able to actually identify the whole content. Then our technology has extracted the keyframes, so it will actually continuously listening, meaning continuously adding up new keyframes, which each keyframe then is enriched with the metadata. That means it has all those pretty dots, which I have on my body right now, will be on the persons, in the content, or in the shows, on anything. The cool thing is, like I told you before, is we can tag everything. We can tag exactly that this dress is Miu Miu. It costs $100,000. With one click, you can directly buy it. So we already matched it to the perfect online store to make the connection. But the cool thing is that we can also tag items in there that are not being displayed. My favorite example for that is what we did for the Big Bang Theory. We actually mixed in Foodora. So now you'll be able to order the same food as your people, you know, in Big Bang Theory, they always take this Indian takeouts, whatever. So we mixed this in, so you can actually order the same food that they're actually eating. So you can have this whole experience about eating the same food as your stars are eating, and you can always go back. That's the amazing thing about the keyframes. You can switch forward and backwards, because you know, when you're watching Game of Thrones, you don't want to be disturbed. You want to like watch the scene right now. So you were actually able to, after the show is over, or it's not a boring part, which never happens, but if you can go back in time all the time. So it's actually really, imagine you were on the bus, you watched the series 10 minutes ago, and you just realized, this was a beautiful dress, I want it. You open up the app, you go back to the content, and from that, the amazing part is also we get all the data, meaning we now know really who is watching and interacting with my content, what are they buying, and what do they want more. So this is how we get also information that we can then use again to produce new content, to get in new deals, and make everything more really targeted to the audience, to give them the experience we all are waiting for. And this is all in one app that is called Spot, or we can implement it as a white label product that's Activate in any already existing technology, just as a shadow app, reskinning it, and then you have the technology yourself. Was that 3 minutes?
So it requires watching the content on the app. So if I wanted to watch The Flash, I'd be watching it through your app in order to be able to activate.
No, you would, like I said, it's a second screen solution. The technology stuff can be implemented in first screen or fourth screen, but we are right now, because you have to start somewhere, at the second screen. So you would be watching it on your PC, on your laptop, on your tablet, on the real TV, wherever you want to, as long as it makes sounds.
Great.
And how far back can you go if you're watching a movie that was made years ago? Is that
We need to make it interactive first. So you can't just open up the app and interact with anything that's online. We have to make it interactive. But the good thing is that we are trying to fingerprint a lot. So that means that we are also detecting it. So even if you're watching the show Desperate Housewives and we have made it interactive, we fingerprint it and we tell you, okay, this is the show. If you want to make it interactive, let us know. That way we also get the feedback of what people want, which is great to give them exactly what they need.
Can you alert people to their favorite television programs, remind them that that's coming on?
Yeah, that's the cool thing is you can also subscribe to shows, actors, characters, and your feed will then be customized. So even though if you haven't seen the show, but we made it interactive, it will come up in your screen, so you can go back and see. It's the same thing with brands. If you truly love, you know, Marc Jacobs, we can show you every scene and every show that is with Marc Jacobs. So this makes the whole connection of really combining brands, actors, actresses, characters, because usually, you know, the thing we also see is maybe people like James Bond, but nobody likes Daniel Craig, sorry. So this is like also an information, so if you just subscribe to the either one, you get the feed that's customized to it according to what you want and need. And if you follow your friends, you actually see what they're watching, so you get even a new idea of what content is out there. There's the arm, but I'm not sure if we're left. Okay.
Oh, thank you. 3 and 3, guys. Okay. So athletics. And those who were passed on to round 2 will also invite the judges to a Dropbox. So you'll be, oh, look at, see.
Because
look
we're
at,
a digital company, we decided to bring some comments. All right.
Never goes
It's
as
over
planned.
with 80 before. So thank you. Again, we're ATLX, athletics with an X, play extra hard. So Bruce, who is CEO and president, as you can probably, yes, often gets confused with Lou Ferrigno, was an athlete, still I consider an athlete and very fit. But this isn't just for athletes. This is for everybody. This is really an everyday application and an opportunity. Oh, sorry, can you not hear me? I don't talk loud enough. Okay. So this
ATLX is really bringing together three very major trends. We all know that the traditional television is really coming to digital, right? And people are on broadband, they're watching on their mobile devices. People are also engaging in their mobile devices. And we have most recently, the big announcement of Facebook and Periscope, as everyone knows, is live broadcast is also starting to become very prominent. So what we've done, and this is really, this strategy was put in place well before a lot of the announcements recently in live broadcast, but we have been working on the opportunity to bring the event space, right, athletics, all of those, we'll say, competitions and the Tough Mudders and the Weekend Warriors and the Spartan races, and following the athletes both in the professional world and also in the what we call the new economy of athletics and gyms and fitness. And we're bringing those all together. So we can produce, we have over 50 hours of content already, original content. We also bring the audience in, so whether they're the professional athletes or even the everyday athlete, they have an opportunity to participate. So they can really share and friend among themselves, or they can follow those pros as we talked about. So Jonathan, you mentioned something in your talk about how you really want to engage your fans all the time, not just in the telecast.
1 minute.
And to go? Okay. And then this is an opportunity to really do that and engage them on a much more immersive level, especially when it comes to the health tracking and what their physical regimen and nutrition is. And I want to have Bruce in the last minute here talk about some of the partnerships that we put in place, which are pretty impressive, we think.
Yes, we've already established ourselves with some of the main partners out there. We're aligned with over 3,000 gyms, including 24-Hour Fitness, Lifetime Fitness, Planet Fitness, you name it. It's over 3,000 of them. We also have relationships and partnerships aligned with some of the affinity partners that we call sports organizations, like the Arnold Classic, which is the largest sports festival in the world. Has more athletes there than the actual Olympics does, 71 events. It's a big thing. They're moving. They got 5 different countries now that they're moving to: Hong Kong, Brazil, Europe, and they have it in the U.S., of course. But we've aligned ourselves with these partnerships. National Council on Youth Sports, 60 million members plus.
And thank you. So ATLX.
ATLX, thank you.
What's the primary user experience? Like, how am I interacting with the network?
So it is a mobile app and what we call OTT, again, over the top. We actually just announced a partnership with Wellness TV, which we're actually going to have content on their application in Apple TV, Roku, as well as we're going to have an ATLX experience as well. So it's all mobile, it's all digital, and it's all the time. Any other questions?
Is this based on like different sport or activity categories? Is that what the communities are, or is it based on individuals and following?
It's a great question, and it starts with the individual. What is your interest? And it absolutely will cover a vast array of sports, events and sports that aren't necessarily, we'll call the common sports, right? I mean, whether it's parkour, or it could be some extreme athletic activity, or it could be a professional sport where we're following a real race car driver, or we're following an athlete, a professional athlete, whether they're a hockey player, a football player, or a racer.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. Okay,
So I'm going to cheat a little bit.
you are.
I've got it on my computer. It may not be up there, but we can see it here. Does everybody have their phone? Do you have your phone? Go to your browser. Tell me when you're ready. Everyone here can do the same thing. So if you get your phone out, go to your browser like you would go to Google or anything like that. Type in try, T-R-Y, M is in Michael, P is in Paul, T is in Tyler, V is in Victor, .com. So try mptv.com. You don't have to download an app, you don't have to do anything like that. No social security numbers, no credit card numbers, no phone numbers, anything like that. So keep a look at your device. This is what you're playing with. You're at home. You're watching Talking Dead after The Walking Dead. And everybody's sitting there and it's funny. And you have Chris Hardwick say, when Conan O'Brien survive the zombie apocalypse? So as you're sitting here watching it at home, you see the answer on your phone. Click, tell me what you think. Right now we've got 100% said no. Well, as more people play and everything comes in, you see everything move in live time. So we're in the show. We're also going to be in your advertising and in social. So as these votes come in, each show has its unique URL. So if you want to do it in a sports team, in an arena, easy. Do that, we pull it, it's there, everybody there goes and plays. As we go through, you can also play a quiz. So if we have any Walking Dead fans in here, this is an easy one. Somebody got it right off the bat. Wanderer 3756. Look on top of your device, and it'll have your name on there so everybody knows that's me, I won. And then at the end of the day, when the quiz is over, that will then show up, and then we can say, hey, yeah, send my email, call me, whatever it is. We can also do this in live news, polling, politics. I think some guy out there is talking about Trump like a big screen. Put it on screen, it all goes right there, whoever you want, up or down, wherever it may be. So it all comes in live time. As they're doing this, they can see it, the candidates themselves, the hosts of the show. Everybody can see the results coming in and then say, hey, did it work? Do you think that was good? Yes or no? So as we go, we might get Kelly and Michael, so you can just Kelly. Another one, we'll keep going. So I'm going to show you. Here's another one. That in your show, MVP, Bravo. So click a restaurant real quick. That's where we're going to go next for their second date. As that second date comes around, it's sponsored in part by Buick. What kind of Buick car should they take? That is the first commercial that comes out of the break. Click on Encore, click on Verano, then say go. Takes you directly to Buick for a test drive. So that way you have more advertising right there in the palm of your hand in real time, so then you can do it. Coupon for Domino's coming right out, right before the game, so I don't have to leave, right before any kind of marathon of shows. And then you also have this one, a 30-second ad that will pop up, and you can see it.
Judges, any questions, judges?
So what is your revenue model? How are you making money
So
off
we do
the
a
ads?
monthly license fee based on the DMA, the size of the DMA, or the size of your audience. So AMC is going to be different than KTLA, say like that.
So you need scale in terms of customer.
Exactly. Anybody else? Cool. Thank you. All right. Tyler with Megaphone TV.
Megaphone TV.
Do we confer?
What,
Each other?
Yeah, are we doing that or are we doing our own?
No conferring.
All right.
Don't cheat. No cheating, Jonathan.
The scoring is ranking, so the number one should be one. So whoever the winner is should have the least score.
Got it.
Right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I want to give everybody a huge hand. Thank you so much. Because of the technical difficulties, we are going to give all the judges links to all the pictures, decks that they gave us regardless right now, so if they have any questions or anything. So we have everybody's deck, so we'll make sure they all get into their hands. Also give us a few minutes for these guys to score. I want to thank our judges, thank the pitchers. Want everybody to know that the Mobile Excellence Awards, now in our 9th year, is opening for submissions this week. MEAs will be January here in LA, probably maybe here in the courtyard. We'll let everybody know. We'll send out discounts for all the MEA submissions to the pitchers as well for to submit. Also, I want to announce for the Interactive Television Alliance upcoming events with AMA TV Up tomorrow and the Ideas Conference. So any questions on that, ask Allison or contact Allison directly. Otherwise, just give us 1 minute, we'll come up with who the winner is.
No, I didn't. At one time we all talked. Then
Okay,
we voted
so
no.
without talking about what's going on here, because we can't mention any names or companies, I want to get some feedback from you guys. on just general, I mean, you guys are all established leaders, executives for big brands. Any tips or anything to give these startups to get in the door, to get out there into the market that you guys want to lend them?
Give you guys a lot of props for going up and doing that. It's not easy to do.
Any other comments?
It's all about experiences, and much of what we saw today was all about bringing those experiences. That's what we need.
Any other comments, you guys? Any other tips? Comments? Nothing? Everybody wants to go drink.
No, well,
Bar's still open.
All right.
Well, I have a question,
okay.
actually. So let's say somebody gets a meeting with you. What's the fastest way for them to get shown the door really quickly? What is your pet peeve? Somebody's coming in to pitch you, they've got a new technology. What's the fastest way where you're like, nope, non-starter, thank you so much. Do lunch.
They've never been to our brand or don't know us.
Don't know you.
If they ask what we produce or reference something that we no longer produce, that's a big one. And just not having their pitch in order, you know. Everybody's time is very valuable.
That's probably not what happens when people walk into the small semiconductor company I work for. So that's normally not our problem. However, the pet peeve would be when it's they don't show how it is. When they're only about the company itself, they don't show how it is going to benefit us. So if they do not make the connection, for example, if they're talking about an experience, great, fantastic, unless they're trying to show, oh, here's the product you're trying to push, and here's how my experience makes this product come alive for the consumer. That's the connection many a times. And it's probably the last step that needs to be completed mostly.
I would also say not having an understanding of why things are the way they are. So having a great idea and being disruptive and innovative is great, but understanding the ecosystem within which we operate to understand why the decisions have been made up to that point, how they do, that's really important for me.
And then how about the opposite? When somebody comes in, what makes you say, wow, yes, let's have a second meeting, or put them on the book for later? George, you come from
Sure.
both sides of the table on that.
Yeah, for sure. My background was an agent. I was an agent at ICM for a while. I think hearing things that are conventional or on trend right now is a turn off. So what I want to hear is something that we haven't thought of before, or approaching it in a brand new way. Because if you're pitching me something that's hot right now, in 2 years when we're ready to launch, it's not going to be hot. So let me hear about what do you think that people aren't doing, and tell me a great narrative about why this experience is going to be so great. We'll figure out the money part if the experience is great.
Okay, so again, guys, you all did a great job, but the winner of this Digital Hollywood's pitch session is Megaphone. Okay, so guys, I know it's open bar. You guys all want to network. I believe the judges are going to be here for a few minutes. Any questions? Otherwise, thank you, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
What is your take?
On this? I like Megaphone.
No, I meant. You were asking questions.